Hello, my friends. Are you interested in the probable trends and reversals for the euro or the dollar or Bitcoin? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm Robert Miner with Dynamic Traders Group, and I do a video for our YouTube subscribers and our Twitter followers every couple of weeks. So we're going to be looking at the immediate position of the dollar and the euro and Bitcoin and probable upcoming trends in the days and weeks ahead. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I did a video for gold and the S&P. More or less, things are unfolding as anticipated in that video. The reversal signals have changed a bit. That's what happens as the market progresses. But more or less, they're both right on track from what we talked about. So you might want to check out those videos. And if you do want to keep up to date with the specific reversal signatures and trade strategies, you might want to check out our DT reports where we update all these markets 3 times a week. Okay, let's get started. Let's take a look at the immediate position of the euro. This is the euro weekly data. So let's look at the key factor that we want to be looking at for the euro and for the dollar. And that key factor is coming off of the October low. That's what we call a 5-wave impulse advance. And it indicates that the higher time frame trend is bullish. So this decline off of the late December high should be a correction. When the correction is complete, the bull trend should continue to substantially above the December-July double top. We can look at it in that way. So our focus here in the next week or two is to identify when the euro is in a position to complete a correction, because then we're going to have probably a multi-week advance we want to position for. More than likely, it's not ready, it's not completing that correction quite yet. Typically, a correction will continue to at least the 38% time retracement of the impulsive trend. So this 5-wave trend was 12 weeks. 38% of 12 weeks would take us into the week ending February 2nd. So that would be at least into not late next week, but the following week, early the following week. So we probably got another week or two to continue before this correction is complete. But we're getting pretty close. Just want to also bring to your attention is that a correction to a 5-wave impulse usually reaches at least the 50% retracement. So the first thing we always look at is a 62% retracement if we're correcting a 5-wave trend. And those two retracement amounts overlap the wave 4 of lesser degree in Elliott Wave terms, and that is a very typical target to complete a correction against the 5-wave trend. That's the wave 4 extreme. So we probably have a week to 2 weeks to go, sideways to down, before the correction is complete. Let's take a look at the euro daily data. This is the daily from the December low. And again, coming off this December high, 28th high, nice 5-wave decline, ABC correction. And more than likely, the decline off the January 11th high is not quite complete. We do want to be alert near the end of next week. The weekly data shows a correction shouldn't be complete prior to the week ending February 2nd. But there is a time factor on January 25th. That's a possible target to complete a corrective decline. So we'll look at late next week into the following week as a probable target to complete a corrective decline. And of course, that's the type of thing that we update 3 times a week in our report. We update those time and price targets and our momentum cycles, all of that sort of thing. One other thing we want to look at in the daily data is on Friday, the daily momentums did make a dual look-back bull reversal from the overbought zone. And that's usually a pretty reliable signal that what we call a daily low is complete. Worst case, so to speak, is that should the euro immediately continue lower, the downside should be quite limited before a daily low is complete. That doesn't mean it's going to be the completion of this correction, just a daily low. So we could have, and we'll probably have, another complete momentum cycle before this correction is complete. And a complete momentum cycle is usually 8 to 12 days. So again, that would take us in actually a little bit beyond the end of next week. So that's coinciding with the weekly retracements, time retracements, and the price retracements as well. So that's what we'll be looking for. And we really want to focus in on this beginning late next week into the following week, because once again, I'll go back to the weekly, is that when the next weekly low is complete, then we should have, Euro should have another impulsive trend similar to the October to December rally that should take it well above the December high. So that's the probable outcome of the current position of the euro, and of course it's just the inverse with the dollar. So this is the Bitcoin weekly data, and boy, we had a real high probability reversal a couple of weeks ago, the week ending January 12th, where Bitcoin came up and tagged the 62% retracement. It tagged our parallel channel line, and there were some other near-term price relationships around that 62% retracement. So what happened 2 weeks ago is it tagged it, came down, made a lower weekly close, and this past week not only traded below this 5-6 week trading range, but made a new lower weekly close. So I'll put the close only on. These are the weekly closes, and so it confirmed again that what we call a wave C, a probable wave C at least, high is complete, and that the Bitcoin will then probably make a correction lasting several weeks, if not several months. So the minimum we'd anticipate, if this indeed is the wave 5 of C, is a correction to this 5-wave impulse trend. That minimum would probably take Bitcoin sideways to down into the second half of February. So again, about 4 weeks or so of Bitcoin being sideways to down, and that's the minimum expectation. We also have a right in mid-February, week ending February 16th, as a probable time for at least a temporary low. But here's what we got to worry about if you're interested in Bitcoin, and that's this level here. So I'll go back in the summary, is the immediate position is probably sideways to down into mid-February or later. What we want to look at is a potential weekly close below 30,470. And I'm not forecasting this is going to occur. As you know, I don't forecast, and if you forecast, you're probably losing a lot of money trading, and if you listen to forecasters. So it's foolish forecasts for fools. That's what forecasting is all about. But should Bitcoin decline and make a weekly close, that's on a Friday, below 30,470, that will confirm that this is a corrective rally, and Bitcoin should eventually continue much lower below the November low. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I really want to be aware of that. This advance is very much a corrective type structure, so more than likely that correction was complete at the 62% retracement. But I'm most interested in just looking at weekly trends, those trends that last several weeks, because that's what we trade. Depending on your time frame, I wouldn't necessarily get too excited on a long-term outlook for Bitcoin on the upside. It has, the weight of the evidence is bearish, not bullish. But again, we update that every week in our DT reports. And so if you're interested in Bitcoin, and if you're interested in at least the weekly trends, well, DT reports will help you out. So if you'd like to be updated 3 times a week with specific trade strategies, and also how we update these trade strategies as the market unfolds, check us out at dynamictraders.com. Our DT reports are updated 3 times every week. Everybody take care. I'll be back with you again in a couple of weeks. Robert Miner, over and out for now.